Hello VC, Mike from Mike Guitar Player 07 here, coming at you live for the first time in a while, in a couple weeks, with another new video. And today I am sharing some recent finds and some VCLT records I've received or picked up myself. The VCLT records are from Chris Has a Spins, so Chris, Mike from Jam on Records, or Jam on Vinyl, and then Tunes from the Man Cave, Chris. Now, these records are either pure VCLT, a combination of trades and VCLT, or I just flat out paid for everything. So, and I'm not going to share every last record because some of them are a little bit more common I just never had, but here it goes. But first of all, I thought you guys would find this entertaining because this is something new that I've recently done with my records. Now, you guys know how when you go to a record store, they have a whole new recent arrivals section. Well, I got this bin here, and this is filled with records. Recent finds. But not just recent finds or grabs or VCLT or whatever, ones that I'm keeping. I have a whole nother bin of just the ones that I haven't gone through yet. Without further ado, here's some of those records I've grabbed. So, and as I go along, I'll say which person gave me what. This one, School's Out by Alice Cooper. Been on my want list for a while. Crossed it off. This is from Chris Has a Spins. I appreciate that. Allman Brothers, Brothers and Sisters. I used to be able to play Jessica on guitar, and when I listened to this album, I pulled out my guitar when that song started playing, and I still could play it, so it was a really fun time. This is one that I just recently purchased myself. I went to an Urban Outfitters for the first time, and I picked up Billie Eilish's debut album that is called When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? One of the few modern artists that are decent in the top 40. So, always glad to have that. This one is cool. This is Bruce Springsteen's Dancing in the Dark 12-inch single. I did own this at one point, sold it off for some jazz. I sound like Tunes from the Man Cave. And now I have it back. This is from Jam on Vinyl, Mike. From one Jersey guy to another, it says on the note, and I thought that was grand, and I really enjoyed listening to this. So thank you, Mike. Let's see. We got Deep Purple Machine Head from Chris Has a Spins. Chris Has a Spins is what most of these are from because if you watched one of his more recent videos, he got a whole bunch of records for $60 and I snagged like 20 of those. So that's why you might be hearing his name most, because I got most from them. We got Sundown by Gordon Lightfoot. This has been something I've been wanting for a while, so now I have all the Gordon Lightfoot that I'm actively looking for. Let's see, what else do we have in this box of goodies? This was a great one. Johnny Cash's Bitter Tears. This is from Mike at Jam on Vinyl. And the only song I knew from this is The Ballad of Ira Hayes, but I was wanting this album because I want most of Johnny Cash's discography. So, and Mike also included a note that Johnny Cash had written to the people at Billboard and various radio waves and places who wouldn't play anything from this album. And if you know Johnny Cash, aside from like things like Walk the Line or Ring of Fire, one of his more popular mainstream, so to speak, tunes is The Ballad of Ira Hayes, which came from this. And it was a very good listen. I looked forward to listening to it again because it has a lot of historical value, this album. It's tunes written from the Native Americans' perspective of various things, and it's just great. You just got to give it a listen and take my word for it. It's great. Here's another one that I got from Urban Outfitters. I got only two at Urban Outfitters because I didn't have a lot of cash on me. It was kind of an impromptu because I had never been to one and I saw one, so I was like, cool. So I grabbed Julie Michaels' EP Nervous System. Again, one of the few modern artists that are tolerable in today's day and age. This has the hit Issues, for those who are familiar. It's summer, guys. Stay hydrated with water. Let's see, what else do we got? Some of these are old records that I've had for a while from various other things too, so I'm just going through them all. Here's one. This is from Chris Has a Spins. Even in the Quietest Moments by Supertramp. Been wanting this for a couple months now, and I'm glad to finally have it. It was a great album, and it's proggy, and I like it. Earlier Supertramp, Before Breakfast in America, was kind of proggy, so it was kind of cool to hear that side of Supertramp that I didn't really know. This was a great one. This was sealed when I received it. This was also from Chris Has the Spins, Tougher Than Leather by Willie Nelson. Still has a hype sticker on it because I haven't removed the shrink yet. Tunes from the Man Cave, I know you're squirming at that thought. Actually, this is one I forgot that I had gotten. This is one that was not at Urban Outfitters or any VCLT or anything. I was at a record store in Asbury Park, New Jersey, called Groovy Graveyard, I believe was the name of it. And it's kind of appropriate of a title for the store based on the album I bought. I bought a record called Halloween Horrors. This is a really cool record. It's one that I probably would have enjoyed more when I was younger, but it's still a fun record. The A-side has this story about a guy who has inherited this mansion, estate, something like that, and it's just an eerie night, and he's going up to it, and then he's exploring it, and a little bit of horror stuff goes on. I mean, it's from 1977. It ain't too freaky, and it's, I assume, geared towards kids, but it was still fun nonetheless. And then the B-side has just a bunch of various sound effects. So there's that. So those are pretty much all the Stones, and then the only reason that the stuff from Tunes from the Man Cave are over here, not in this box, because I had just received Chris's record package today, and I haven't listened to everything, whereas everything in this bin has been listened to. So, I traded 2 records to get these 2 records. If you saw Chris from Tunes at the Man Cave's video, you saw that he recently acquired a Jolene by Dolly Parton. Well, in return I got The Sound of Johnny Cash, mono. So this is really cool. And this has the song I'm in a Jailhouse Now. And I believe that's the biggest hit on here. There's I'm Free from the Chain Gang Now, which is a good tune. Mr. Lonesome is good. I haven't heard anything else yet off this album because I haven't listened to it, but I'm very much so looking forward to it. I'm getting the Johnny Cash that I've been wanting in my collection. I got Bitter Tears, and now I got the Sound of Johnny Cash. I'm very excited. You'll also know that if you watch the same video that Chris got Dolly Parton, he also got a George Shearing 10-inch. And for that, I got this record. It's Richard Holmes and Gene Atman's Pacific Jazz Records. It's Groovin' with a Jug. And I don't know this record. I don't know a damn thing about it. I know that Richard Holmes is an organist and Gene Atman's is a tenor player. Also on this is Gene Edwards, who's on guitar, and Leroy Henderson on drums. And Chris just played me a little sample of it because he was going through his collection, seeing if he had any doubles, various things to get that George Shearing 10-inch from me. And he played me a sample of this on video he recorded, and I liked it enough, so I said, why not give it a shot? So I got those. And then, this I paid for, but this was one of 2 grails that Chris knocked out with this package. This one I paid for. This is one of my record store day release grails. Many of you are going to think that's a funny thing that I have this as being one of my grails, but I really enjoy the movie and really enjoy the soundtrack, and it's one of the few more inappropriate, so to speak, for the younger people. But it's the soundtrack to South Park's Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. And it's a limited edition, record store day release. I believe it was Black Friday of 2018. I know it was a 2018 one, I just can't remember which one. Or it might have been the April one. I truly can't remember. But it's great, because this comes on colored records, one blue, one green. And if you guys know anything about South Park or the South Park movie, has a pop out of Terrence and Phillip, which is previewing their music video for a song that they have on this record. of a title that I will not say on video because I would like to try to keep this family friendly. But if you guys know the soundtrack or want to look it up, it's the second song on the soundtrack. You'll know where I'm coming from and why I'm not really saying the title of it. Funny stuff, but just not appropriate to be stating on video. This is one of two artists who Chris knew I've been looking for a lot of their records for, and I don't have much of any of either. This is the second album or record I have by this artist. This is George Strait. This is the album Something Special. This has a hit, The Chair, on it, and that's all I know from this record so far. The only other record I have by George Strait is a 7-inch single of All My Exes Live in Texas. Everything else I have on CD. So, and I've been looking forward to having some George Strait in my collection. I've been wanting to have Oceanfront Property 7, a bunch of them. I just want more George Strait in my collection. And this is the one that I had a feeling I was getting this when Chris sent me a message saying I added a holy shit record to your package last second because I upgraded something, and I want you to have this. And Chris was initially talking about we were talking about prices for it for when it came time that I was going to be able to get this in my hands. This is one of my jazz grails. So we got the record store day one and the jazz one that Chris knocked out here, and he just sent it my way. And he just said, thanks for being a great friend and everything. Just enjoy it. So I'm very thankful, and maybe he was thinking, since my birthday is on Wednesday, he was thinking of that possibly too. I'm not sure. But this is John Coltrane's Ballads. And boy, does this record cook. It is so smooth. It is so silky. It is the most mellow John Coltrane album I think there is of the ones I know. I love every moment of it. It's on the beautiful Impulse ABC labels. It's a second or third stereo pressing. And of course Impulse has it's well known for its integrity of how well things hold up. So I mean, obviously this is rocking. And it has its beautiful gatefold, as all Impulse records do. Has a nice back, front. And this has John Coltrane, of course, but it also has on piano McCoy Tyner, Jimmy Garrison, which I'm not really sure what he does, and Evelyn Jones, and I can't remember. I believe Evelyn Jones is the drummer, which is making me think that Jimmy Garrison is a bassist. Chris, correct me, because I'm not seeing anywhere in here where it's telling me who is who. Player-wise, Blue Note has on the back of it, or with the people, it says this artist, that instrument. This one just has the party who's playing on it. But either way, this is a jazz grail. I've been begging Chris for his copies for a while. He had another copy that he upgraded from, that he already promised to someone else. He was promising it to me at the same time, but then he remembered he promised to someone else. Now I have this copy, and I can't wait to spin this thing. This is one of my favorite Coltrane records. So I can't thank you enough, Chris. I can't thank you enough, Chris, from Chris Has the Spins. And I can't thank you enough, Jam on Vinyl, Mike, for your generosity, your kindness, your friendship, the records, whether I paid for them or we traded, or we traded, sold, or just gave. And that's just about it. Thank you guys. Thank you for the vinyl community. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing these records. I know I'll be most certainly enjoying spinning them in not too long a time from now. And I will see you guys in the next video. If you guys liked what you saw, please feel free to like the video. Send me a comment down below. And if you want to hit that subscribe button if you don't already and you like what you see, please do. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Keep on spinning that vinyl. Keep on making friends in the community. Keep on being great.